Through some of the best practices across the country in NACP2, it has been realized that peer educator-led outreach could give more results in controlling HIV/AIDS epidemic, and this resulted in a paradigm shift in the role of peer educator in NACP3. PE-led outreach could help in saturation of coverage, collectivization, demand generation for services, and ultimately community ownership in managing HIV/AIDS prevention project. "462 peer educators, 39 outreach workers with over 3 years of experience in prevention project, with core groups across the state, were the participants for Swetcha Sammelanam, the peer conference. Participants were divided into 10 groups of 50 members in each group. To train these 10 groups, 20 trainers with an extensive experience in community mobilization were identified and trained for a day to get them familiarized with the process and methodology based on the detailed module worked out. They were later divided into 10 groups of 2 members each to take up trainings for PEs. To build organic linkages, each group has had a representation from all the 32 interventions. This process helped in creating a platform for mutual learning through sharing of rich experiences. In this direction, NACO and AP-SACS have organized this Regional Peer Educators Conference for 3 days to nurture the community mobilization processes. Through this peer conference, AP-SACS expects PEs to understand their role in HIV prevention program in NACP3. NACP3 helps them realize the relevance of community mobilization. It also helps them analyze the issues and challenges in accessing the services with better linkages for both sexual and non-sexual services, and finally, the capacity building needs of the participants for an effective peer-led outreaching. Day 1 focused on the theme of knowing each other and knowing our efforts. Sessions dealt on Day 1 were an overview of NACP3, perceptions and expectations of community members about peer education, and identifying issues and challenges in accessing services. Day 1 helped PEs to understand their role and expectations of the community. PEs could also chalk out a plan to overcome the challenges in accessing services. Sessions were conducted using participatory methods such as role plays, group discussions, brainstorming, simulation, and small group discussions. Day 2 started with the competitive spirit of showcasing their skills, best practices of program, BCC material, and CBO initiatives. PEs started exhibiting their stalls from 6 a.m. in the morning. The stalls were colorful with BCC material, handiworks, flowers, photographs of CBO initiatives. Coastal Andhra flavor of pickles and dry fish too had a place in the stalls. The spirit behind the entire show was excellent. PEs dressed up in uniforms showed unity among them. The event lasted for 2 hours, resulting in mutual learning, creating positive attitude, togetherness, and enhancing the commitment for the cause. Back in the classroom sessions, Day 2 focused on the theme of our wishes. Sessions dealt on Day 2 were self-esteem and self-responsibility as a sex worker, self-assertiveness in sex work occupation, community norms for behavior change, and creating social space. Day 2 helped PEs to understand the importance of self-esteem and self-confidence in sex work settings. PEs could list out community norms for purposeful living and strategy to create a social space. The colorful show continued in the evening too with a cultural night. Themes for cultural night were HIV and pleasure and pain in sex work, power dynamics in sex work settings, HIV and violence, living together towards our aspirations. As there were many participants, The activities were restricted to group songs and group dance. Participants were so enthusiastic to perform that the organizers were in a dilemma whom to give a chance. They faced a tough time in controlling the enthusiasm of the participants. Everyone wanted to be on stage. Traditional dances, folk songs, and thematic songs were some of the glimpses of the cultural night. This cultural night continued off the stage even after officially closing the session. Day 3 focused on the theme of Our Footsteps. Sessions dealt on Day 3 were SWOT analysis and listing out capacity building needs of PEs to carry out their role in NACP 3. Day 3 helped them to work out strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to carry out their role. It was followed by identification of additional skills required for PEs to carry out their tasks. During the training, participants interacted with the officials of NACO and AP SACS and expressed their aspirations and commitment for the program. The highlight of the event was the interaction the participants had with the new project director of AP SACS, Shri R.V. Chandravadan IAS. After receiving feedback from the participants, he also addressed the gathering. He stressed on the need to organize themselves to become a collective force to demand their rights such as voter cards, ration cards, and housing sites. At the end of the program, one could see the overwhelming joy on their faces when the participants had received trophies for the wonderful exhibition of skills through stalls and cultural events.
ఈ 3 డేస్లో మేము చాలా మంచి సబ్జెక్టులు క్లాసులు తెలుసుకొని నేర్చుకున్నాం. మేము వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ ఇతరులకు అనేక మందికి చెప్పి వాళ్ళ చైతన్యవంతులను చేస్తానని హామీ ఇస్తున్నాను.
మేము నేర్చుకున్న మంచి విషయాలన్నీ మా తోటి సహోదరులకు చెప్పి మేము ఎయిడ్స్ బారి నుండి తప్పించడానికి సహకరించాలని ఆశపడుతున్నాము.
ఎయిడ్స్తో ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి రిఫరెన్స్ అందుతున్నాయి లేవా, వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, ఏ టైంలో ఉన్నారు, ఎలా రాకుండా ఉండడాన్ని అనుకొని దాని గురించి చేయాలని చెప్పేసి ట్రైనింగ్కి వచ్చామండి.
100 మందికి హెచ్ఐవి ఎయిడ్స్ ఉందంటే ఈ 100 మందికి హెచ్ఐవి ఎయిడ్స్ ఉంటే ఈ 100 మందితోనే ఉండాలి, ఇంకా ఎక్కువ పెరగటానికి ఉండకూడదు.
The idea of this conference is to empower them, to bring them together, to understand their travails, and more so to understand the situation in which they are working, and also the risks that they are amenable to, and in the process what these group members can do. The whole idea is to bring about a transformation at the community level, because the role of these individuals, peer educators, is very crucial in eliminating the scourge of HIV and AIDS.
At the end of the program evaluation will also be done, and then we will be knowing how much we have done and what is to be done. This is a small step forward to spread the message that it is the responsibility of everybody in the society.
In NACO, we have been able to develop something, but on papers. But when I see it on the field here, it gives me immense pleasure to find that it has been a successful project. And in future, I hope there are many more such conferences coming up, where community come up confidently and can take up where other issues they want to have more capacity building. And would really thank AP SACS and the TSU for their support in the whole program.
On our first day of journey in the bus, we travelled through many places. When we reached the venue, it was all new, but it felt good interacting with new friends. We have learned so much. It was very exciting. Now we are going back. It is the same bus, the same places, the same faces. Yet there is something new, our memories, and we will surely educate our own community members.